Welcome to another Michigan football show. I'm Bryn Mickle.
And I'm Aaron McMann.
So, Michigan gets by Maryland with a fairly pedestrian effort. It came out to a fast start, seemed to go into a shell for the second half. Should we be concerned?
I wouldn't say so. I'd be more worried about the injuries at this point. You know, Karan Higdon came out of the game there late in the second quarter with an ankle injury. Michigan was missing Ty Isaac again. It sounds like they're going to get both of them back, but you don't know what shape or ability they'll be in which case Michigan may have to rely on Chris Evans in the run game. But relying on one guy for your rushing production could present some problems.
Beating Maryland is one thing. Going on the road and beating Wisconsin, whole other animal. Why do we think Michigan even has a prayer in this game?
Because it'll be a low-scoring game. Wisconsin is the number one ranked defense in the country. Michigan's up there as well. It's going to come down to both offenses and whether they can move the ball and score points. This is where I think obviously Michigan's ground game is going to play a factor, but Brandon Peters too. This could be his breakout moment. This is his opportunity to seize the moment. He's played well up to this point, hasn't thrown an interception, hasn't turned the football over, and that's been key for this offense. But now he needs to take the next step. He needs to complete that deep pass. He needs to make a play out of nothing. Michigan's going to rely on him quite a bit Saturday. Wisconsin's probably going to stack the box and make him throw. This is his game to shine. This is his game to prove that he is Michigan's starting quarterback moving forward.
If Brandon Peters struggles, you got the biggest game of the year, it always is, Ohio State. Do we see Wilton Speight?
I think there's a shot, but it's a slim one. You know, he is returning to practice this week. Keep in mind he's been out 6 weeks now. You know, he's got to get his conditioning back. He's got to reacclimate himself to the offense. He's got to get back in tip-top shape conditioning-wise, and that takes time. It's not going to happen in a week or two. And if you're Jim Harbaugh and the coaching staff, do you really risk throwing Peters out for 3 weeks, a redshirt freshman, and risk screwing with the psyche, screwing with the offense that they've kind of built? You know, the offense has turned its corner, I'd say, the last 3 weeks. You risk screwing all that up just to play Speight in the final game? You know, I'd say no.
Back to this weekend. You got Wisconsin that's playing for all the marbles. They're trying to get in the national championship playoff. You got two teams that haven't really beaten anybody this year. What's your prediction?
Like I mentioned before, I think it stays close. I think Michigan's defense keeps it in the game. I don't think you're going to see the big chunk plays that they gave up against Penn State a few weeks ago. I think they've learned their lesson. I think the offense holds its own. I think Brandon Peters, again, has one of those games where he doesn't throw an interception, but I think Michigan's lacking the big plays that it's going to need to win this game. I think it stays close. I'm going Wisconsin 17, Michigan 10.
These are the games that Jim Harbaugh was brought in to win. And frankly, he hasn't been doing too much of that lately. And I think this is a game he has to have. I'm going to call the upset here. I'm going to take Michigan 28, Wisconsin 21. And that's a wrap for another Michigan football show. We'll be back next week when we look ahead to the biggest game of the year, Ohio State.